We're getting pretty deep into October now, and I have to tell you, the thing on the top of my mind is weaning calves. This is gonna have to happen soon. And once I do that, they will go in this corral where I'm standing now, and they will be getting all of their food out of these two round bale feeders. The feeders themselves are all ready to go, but the problem is that last winter, I had a bunch of sand in here, and throughout the course of the winter, they tracked that out of there, they dug it out. I'm not really sure how they do it, but they have removed a bunch of material. So I've decided that sand is not the way to go. I'm gonna need to get some proper gravel set up around these feeders, and I'm hoping that they don't drag that out nearly as bad. If they do, I may have to pave this or lay some concrete down here. I'm hoping I don't have to do that. We're gonna try the gravel this year and see how it works. If you look closely at the feeder though, you can see where ground level is supposed to be, and they've got it dug out like 10 inches here. So it's gonna be tough for the little guys to reach in and get what they need. And then I have to think that if they dug that much out last year, they're gonna dig a little bit more out this year, and pretty soon they won't be able to reach into those feeders at all. So that's why it's pretty important that I get some material in here that's gonna stay put, keep them out of the mud while they're eating, and keep them where they can reach all of that hay. Max, the owner of the winter pasture, was nice enough to offer me the use of his dump trailer for the day. This dump trailer is awesome. I think it can hold like 5 tons of material and still pick that up and dump it. So we're gonna go grab that trailer from Max and head to the gravel pit and see how much material we can get moved over here today. That's what's going on today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. Got the old 8820 pulled out. I'm trying to figure out if they've been using it or they're just getting it out of the way. I have not been over to the winter pasture, I don't think, since we pulled the last load of cattle out here. I see now this used to be alfalfa. They've taken all this out. I was told they're gonna put sunflowers in there this year. So in a way that's good, because there won't be any temptation for the cattle to want to break out and get in that alfalfa field. It's actually greener than I thought it would be out here, but it's still awfully dry. And most of the green that you see is Bermuda grass, which doesn't need a lot of water anyway. As it continues to get colder, that Bermuda grass will probably kind of die off and be replaced by some of the more cool season grasses. Yeah, if I was a cow, I don't know if I'd be able to find too much to eat out here right now.
Go that way, yeah. Come on back about 2 feet.
We got the trailer all hooked up. I'm actually almost to the gravel yard now, and I'm kind of like dreading this a little bit because I've never got gravel here before, and I don't really know the protocol, how it all works. So I have found in my life that when I am doing something like this and I don't really know the program, you know, to just ask questions. Don't be afraid of looking stupid. It's better to just ask questions and then do things the way that they want me to do them, so I don't end up getting in people's way. But I always kind of hate doing that because it's a very humbling moment when you have to admit how much you don't know about doing something. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna park right here and walk up to the office and ask a bunch of dumb questions. I got the lowdown. I think I know what I'm doing now. So we're gonna pull around and jump on the scale and get a lightweight, and then he said they can either load me on the scale or they'll send me somewhere else to get loaded. So I've got a little bit of an advantage because at my old job I used to test these truck scales, so I at least kind of know my way around here. But yeah, I've never actually loaded here, so we're learning. All right, we got our 5 tons of gravel. It was not that bad. This is kind of how it always goes. You know, you feel stupid because you don't know, but once you know, it's not bad. First load's on the ground. I would say that's plenty to go around 1 feeder. We definitely need 1 more load, and if I have time today, I'll probably go after a 3rd one. Before we go after the next load, I've got to change the tire on this thing. I can see on the driver's side, the front axle, the tire has a bulge in it. And the way that I notice this is that as I watch it go around in the mirror, I can see the tread just sort of shimmer a little bit. I don't want to mess around with fixing a tire on the side of the road, so I think, assuming the bolt pattern on my stock trailer spare tire is the same, I'm just going to throw it on there right now, and then I won't have to worry about it. I wonder if there's any critters living in there. Feels like I need some air. So yeah, this only had 35 pounds in it. It's supposed to have 75. Good thing we checked. I don't know if you guys can really see that on camera or if it's evident, but that should be perfectly true. I shouldn't see any sort of variation, any movement. And I can, so that's why I'm gonna go ahead and change this now. It's a lot easier to do it here at the shop where I've got all my tools, and the trailer's empty now, so it's a lot easier to jack it up than it would be if it was full of gravel. Alright, I believe that's it. Here's hoping that all 8-lug trailer axles are the same bolt pattern. Callie, come on. Callie, hey! She found something that smells good. Good girl. So I thought I would touch on a little bit about what a bulge tire is, or the way I understand it at least. If I'm wrong, correct me. but the tire is like starting to separate basically, and it creates a weak spot in the tire itself, and that's where you see that bulge, because with the reduced strength, the rubber is allowed to stretch where otherwise it wouldn't be able to do that. A bulge is a telltale sign of a blowout that's coming. So that one really wasn't terrible, but when you think about the fact of how much weight we're putting in that trailer, we're going at highway speeds, sometimes down rough roads, I just feel like, you know, you're asking for problems. And if I was to just kind of look the other way, cross my fingers and hope nothing happened, I might have been fine, but I also might have had a blowout, and you never know where that's going to happen. It could be at the worst possible time. And depending on how that tire blows out, it could rip apart the fender, it could cause damage to the trailer. And you know, when you borrow something, the last thing you want to do is bring it back in worse condition than you borrowed it. All right, we're just rolling in for our second load and probably final load for the day. It's 2 o'clock now, and I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to make a third trip. It takes me about 2 hours round trip, you know, including loading, dumping, and all that. So I think this is gonna be it for today, but that might be enough. I think today's Friday. This place isn't gonna be open on the weekend. I'll have a chance to spread that gravel out, and then I'll know if I need more. I need to come back next week sometime and get it. But 2 loads might be enough, so we'll just kind of have to wait and see. Well, I gotta say, I don't think 2 loads of gravel is quite gonna cut it. There's just too much fill that I need to put in here. And like I was saying before, I would like to get gravel all the way across. Basically, everywhere that's under cover, I would like to have gravel. Before I can start moving it in here, I need to do some work with the box blade and scrape all of this loose, sort of muddy manure material out of here, so that when I put my gravel in, that there's not a muddy base. In fact, I might even go in the big corral and collect chunks of asphalt and put those down as sort of a base layer, and then put the gravel on top of that. I think that will help this not get as muddy, and it'll stretch my gravel a little bit further. The bad news is that today is Friday and the gravel pit doesn't reopen again until Monday. So Max told me just go ahead and keep the trailer until I'm done using it, which was very generous of him. So I don't have enough time to make it back up there again today. I don't need to go drop the trailer off because we're gonna hang on to it for a couple more days. I guess that means I can go home and eat some dinner. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.